Hello everybody, my name is Dennis Jensen, and this is a new tutorial. I know it's been a while, so I'm sorry about that. I hope you all enjoyed a good Easter. I know I did. I was at Fyn. Fyn is a little island in Denmark, and that is where my family lived, so I just went home to visit them. It was quite funny because I have a friend, and I hope he's not watching this, but he's very cool, and it was a long time since I saw him because I live so long away, so it's not that often that I'm at Fyn. But he has curly hair, and it goes to around here of both sides, and he's not very tall, so he looked a little bit like Frodo from Lord of the Rings. And one evening we got really drunk, me and a couple of friends, and then my buddy. And whenever he was walking slower or talking to some people, and we wanted him to move faster or come with us, we just shouted, "Frodo, water is this way. Come on!" And then he would come, and people would laugh. But that's not the worst thing we did, because we went to something called Heidi's, and it's kind of a pub, and he walked up to a girl, and he's the kind of person who is quite funny, but he's also sometimes misunderstood. So he walked up to the girl and he said something. I guess it would be hilarious if I had heard it, but I didn't, but the girl did, and she was disappointed maybe, or she was not, how can I say, she didn't like him. So she wanted to get rid of him, and it got a bit awkward. So we told him that he should use the ring so he could disappear, but he didn't. Anyway, sorry about that. This tutorial is going to be about lighting, and if you had had any funny Easter holidays experiences, just post them. But I'm sorry, this is going to be about lighting, and you can see it as a tip and tricks guide to how to make some cool lighting. I can't teach you all about how to make a nice concept with lighting, because lighting is a lot about how you make how you plan it, because what attracts the eye in the image is where the light is light and the dark is dark meet. So it's kind of, it has a lot to do with concepts. This is not a new project, but it's a project I did. It's a frog, and you can see if you squirt, oh, not squirt, sorry, if you squint, if you squint with your eyes, you can see that the most contrast in the picture is just around the head of the frog. So this is where I would look, and that's what I tried to achieve with this. I'll just show you what the lights are used in this scene, and hopefully you will get an idea on how you can do it yourself. So this is how the character looks when I rendered it out in Maya. I usually render out the characters and the environment on different layers, because it's easier to comp when you have it this way, and it's easier to make changes. If you make a change to the character, you can just render out the character, and if the background is a still background and it doesn't move in any way, you can just render out, if the camera doesn't move, you can just render out one frame. So it's really smart and it's really simple. That's why I do it, and it works like a charm. So you can obviously see that a lot happened. This is of course a different frame because it's animated, but we're going to take this frame as a reference. The next picture is the backlight, and you can see the backlight the rim light. It's basically the same, but the rim light, as it is called, it gives a nice definition of the shape, because it gives kind of an outline, so it's very nice to have it on a character. And you can see it also makes the light go through my character, because I'm using subsurface shadowing. And this is the light from the pot. I think it's called a pot, but it's the green light from the round thing down here. And I added that because I feel like it sets a nice mood if there's different kinds of lights in different kinds of colors. And then I added in a fill light, and this light is acting like the bounce light, which is meaning that the light will go into the window and it will bounce on the walls down to the character, and it will typically be blue. So that's why I did it in this shot. That was basically indoor lighting. That's typically the way I do it. This is the environment of it, and you can see there isn't really that much. I use kind of the same settings. Sometimes I use because you can make one light only affect the character, and that's very good because you can cheat a lot. Or you can make one light only affect one object, and this is meaning you got a lot more control, and you can really control how the light is going to work on the scene, and that is really awesome. So when you're doing the background, in my case, I didn't want it to stand out that much, so I kind of made it less of a contrast compared to the character. And you can see this is the backlight as I had in the other one, and this is the other lights, which combined gave the first. Which combined gave the first light. And then I would obviously render out a depth of field or depth map and a motion blur and a lot of other maps, not maps, layers, render layers. But that's something I should probably tell you about in another tutorial or video. So when I'm doing outdoor lighting, I would do it kind of differently, because outdoor lighting is you don't have the same options, because most of the time there's only the sun affecting or the moon. So you only have, in the real world, you will only have one light source, and the shadows will be kind of different. So let me show you. Over to the left, I use the spotlight, and you can see the spotlight makes a shadow kind of, it's not parallel, it goes out to the sides, and that you would probably use for a lamp. And to the right, we have the directional light, and the directional light acts more like the sun. And you can see the shadows. This is the top view, and this is the perspective. So you can see the top view, it's much more parallel with the shadows. So this is what you want to use if you're doing something outdoor. I have an example on that as well, because when you're doing something outdoor, you can see this is the project that I also showed in the last tutorial, and here I'm using a directional light to get the right atmosphere. But you can see if I put this into the picture, it would be very dark because the shadows are very dark. And when it's outside, there will be a lot of bounce light. The ground will have bounce light up to let me try again. The ground will bounce light up onto your model, so you will have lights down underneath the model as well, and you will also have, it will be much lighter in general. So a way you can add that, what I did was to add a sphere around the whole environment, and then I jammed up the surface shader, so it wouldn't use the light, but it would just have the same, it would just show the picture in all the brightness. And I used Final Gather to project the lighting. You can kind of say that. So this is with the final gather, and this is without. So you can see there's a lot of difference, and it takes the color from the map you use, and that is very nice as well. So you get a nice effect with final gather. So this is basically just 3 directional light, only one is casting a big shadow, and the other 2 are very low on intensity, so they don't even cast that much light. But you could get away with only 1 directional light because that is what it is. That's what it is in the real world. Yeah. So that was basically very short about lighting. I hope you got something out of it. I know it was very quick, but I'm trying not to make these videos too long. So I should probably wrap it up now. But if you hate it or love it, let me know. Write a comment below, and I will consider whatever you're writing. And remember to subscribe. That's the most important thing on YouTube. Have fun and see you guys.